Do without will shall be the whole of the law. This Tarot Tuesday, we're going to be exploring the symbolism, title, placement, and attributes of the Emperor across 9 classic tarot decks. The attributes are the same across the 9 classic decks, with one exception I'll mention. The color is red. The element is fire, relating to south, summer, and noon. The astrological influence is Aries. The esoteric title is Son of the Morning. The intelligence is the constituting intelligence. In all the decks except for the Thoth deck, the Hebrew letter is He, meaning window, relating to the number 5. In the Thoth deck, this is related to Zodi, meaning fishhook, given a value of 90. On the Tree of Life, it occupies the path between Hokmah and Tifereth. The numerology is 4, pointing to structure, foundation, stability, and stagnation. It rules the dates of March 21st through April 20th. In most decks, this card is the 5th major arcana, labeled 4. But in the Grand Etala deck, it is numbered 6 and is the 7th major arcana. The title of the Emperor remains, and the words day and night are written on the card. In the Etala 3 deck, it is also labeled 6 and is the 7th major arcana of that deck. In the Grand Etala 3, however, the title is changed from Emperor to Stars. The card shows a heliocentric map and has the words day and night at the top and bottom, with the word stars on each side. Atu 6 is the Lover's card in most decks. Here the correlation between the two cards is less obvious, but I can make a connection between power, stability, order, and rulership to alignment of values, problem solving, communication, and a balanced union of opposites. There is also a correlation between the astrological attributes and dates attributed to Aries in the Emperor card and the elemental attributes of the Lovers of Air, East, Spring, and Sunrise. But given that the elemental attributes are divided into only 4 sections across all the cards, this correlation is not as significant in my mind, but still relevant. What's more interesting to me is the flip that Crowley made with the Hebrew letter and the fact that the Emperor was named the Stars in the Grand Etala 3 deck. This maybe gives some further insight into why Crowley took the line, Zodi is not the star, to mean that the Emperor would be related to Zodi. Since it is titled the Stars in another deck, the correlation makes more sense. If you notice other correlations that I haven't mentioned, I would love to hear about them. As for the symbolism, under the Great Priest, Cirlot writes, the 5th enigma of the tarot pack. The card shows him seated upon a throne between the 2 columns Jachin and Boaz, symbolic of intuition and reason. He wears white gloves to symbolize the purity of his hands. His scepter terminates in a triple cross, the rounded ends of whose arms give rise to the sepentary, alluding to the virtues necessary to combat the 7 capital sins: pride, the sun; sloth, the moon; envy, Mercury; wrath, Mars; lust, Venus; greed, Jupiter; and avarice to Saturn. Also depicted in this image are 2 disciples both kneeling, one dressed in red for activity and the other in black, passivity. On the positive side, this enigma signifies the moral law, duty, and conscience. It's interesting that Cirlot doesn't say anything about the more negative side of this card here, but we could see that manifested in things like the USSR and Communist China. That wraps up our brief exploration of the Emperor. I would love to hear your thoughts on this card. Thanks for watching. Love is the law. Love under will.